Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. This is Rob. This video, we're going to discuss the unfortunate news we've heard earlier this week regarding Pacific Rim not being done, completely kaput. This is disappointing. Now, there's rumors that Guillermo del Toro said that it's not out of the woodworks, but that is rumor. I haven't personally seen any other articles, and the article that I did read it is not exactly reliable. So let's just assume right now that there will be no Pacific Rim. It's a done deal. No more Pacific Rim. Very, very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. I think Legendary probably wants to invest its monster universe in the King Kong / Godzilla world, and there's just no room for Pacific Rim. There's no room for Pacific Rim. I think what it comes down to is, this is what I think happened. I think at some point they wanted to try to incorporate the worlds of Monarch, Godzilla, King Kong, and Pacific Rim all into one to form their universe. But I think it didn't fit. I think that's what it comes down to. I don't think Pacific Rim fit into the fold, and it wouldn't make sense for them to have another kaiju movie parallel to their kaiju universe without being involved with each other. And in essence, they'd probably be kind of not necessarily competing with each other, but it would be weird. It would be weird. If you have a universe of monsters with Godzilla, King Kong, Ghidorah, and all these other monsters, then you got the Pacific Rim universe with all these giant robots and monsters. It almost makes sense that you would want to put them together despite people's, disapproval. So if you're not able to, why keep the other series around? I mean, first of all, it didn't do well the first time out. As much as we all loved it, financially it didn't do well. So the only thing that I think would have boosted Pacific Rim would have been to combine the universes of Godzilla, King Kong, Pacific Rim, blah, 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 blah. But I don't think they found room for that. I think when it comes to story elements, I think when it comes to time, as far as when Pacific Rim took place versus when Godzilla took place, and they would have had to probably do some crazy stuff to try and bring these worlds together. And I think they said to themselves, you know what? Let's just cut our losses. It's not going to work. And they did away with it. That's my opinion. That's what I think happened. I think they really did want to incorporate Pacific Rim into this Godzilla universe, or combine them, and they just didn't find room for it. They didn't. There's no, story-wise, it wouldn't work. It's not that Godzilla fighting giant robots doesn't work. It does. But I think when it comes down to the story and how they can incorporate them together, I think that's where they hit a wall. And they couldn't see anywhere beyond that wall that would make sense story-wise. So I think they scrapped it, because I think then they probably sat back and said, okay, what can we do with Pacific Rim as an individual series in and of itself? They probably sat back and said, all right, the movie's good. Guillermo del Toro did a good job, but it didn't resonate with the crowd. Now that we have Godzilla here, very popular, very well known, is going to generate income, is going to generate a profit, people are not going to want to see Pacific Rim. And I don't mean us people. Us kaiju fans obviously would love to. But the general audience is going to say, well, why would I go see Pacific Rim when the only monster I even know or I'm aware of or that I like is Godzilla? Even if you're just a mild fan of monsters or just a sci-fi buff that likes to see monster movies, most people are going to pick Godzilla. They're not going to pay attention to Pacific Rim. That's kind of what happened with Pacific Rim when it first came out. People went and saw it, but people went to see Godzilla more. So I think they didn't want to invest the money to make this series. When you figure they were discussing, the sequel, I'm sure they were planning a third one, and they had an animated series planned. That's a lot of investment into a series that may not succeed and probably had a good chance of not succeeding. That's a lot of marketing money that you have to invest to try and promote the movie to get people to want to see it. It comes down to numbers. That's what it comes down to. And they just probably didn't feel confident that Pacific Rim, as a standalone series based on giant monsters and fighting and kaiju, I don't think they felt it could hold its own, Yes, they had the kaiju fans like myself, like you. They had that, but that's not enough. And we've all talked about this before. It's all about the general audience. If the general audience is not going to be interested enough to spend the money to go see your movie's going to be a failure. The general audience, no matter what the genre is, always rules. It always rules. When you go to a movie like for the superheroes, how many people watching the movie really know what the hell is going on or what their lore is? It's us hardcore fans that know what's going on. We know the lore, but the general audience are the ones that basically run these movies, that budget these movies, that will determine whether or not we see them. So, and I think when it comes down to it, Pacific Rim was not going to do generate strong income with the general audience. I think that's what it comes down to. And, it's unfortunate. Hopefully, if that rumor happens to be true, hopefully it is true. Hopefully, Pacific Rim will get an opportunity. But as of right now, it's not. It sucks. I'm sure, and I feel bad for Guillermo del Toro. I mean, he's just not, the guy can't catch a break. You know, there's been so many projects he's worked on that have been canceled. And here's a very talented director who's got a very vivid imagination when it comes to some of the work he does. And, you know, it always comes down to business. Business is always what it is. If you're going to invest the money, then you have to have a good return. If you don't have confidence in your return, you don't invest the money. Simple as that. Anyway, guys, how do you feel about Pacific Rim now out of the woodworks completely? Do you think it'll come back? Do you think there's a chance we might get it? Or do you think that's it? And how do you feel about the whole situation? Let me know in the comments below. Until the next video, this is Rob signing off for ETN, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Take it easy.
Thank you for watching ETN. Don't forget to comment, share, and subscribe. Join the nation's Facebook page to meet other subscribers or visit ETN's Facebook page and Twitter page. Links for all are in the description. You're watching ETN. Share and subscribe.
Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. This is Rob. This video, we're going to discuss the unfortunate news we've heard earlier this week regarding Pacific Rim not being done, completely kaput. This is disappointing. Now, there's rumors that Guillermo del Toro said that it's not out of the woodworks, but that is rumor. I haven't personally seen any other articles, and the article that I did read it is not exactly reliable. So let's just assume right now that there will be no Pacific Rim. It's a done deal. No more Pacific Rim. Very, very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. I think Legendary probably wants to invest its monster universe in the King Kong / Godzilla world, and there's just no room for Pacific Rim.